This is a SleepyCast lost episode by the Morphin Shitty Jobs, featuring Stamper, Psychicpebbles, JohnnyUtah, Oney, and Spazkid. My name is Captain Dickhead. My penis is curly like a pigtail. You can pull it forward and it springs back into place.
Talk about shitty jobs, work.
Anyways, one time I worked a shitty job. Wow, what a cool topic to talk about.
Shut up.
Put that in there, that's a good segue.
Alright, let's talk about shitty jobs. Shitty jobs.
No.
Let's talk about jobs we've had. Okay, me being what I am, I've only had one job, and that job was working on the phones at a Scholastic toy selling.
And what are
place.
you, Corey?
I was a phone solicitor.
Whoa.
And I sold toys.
Do people hate you?
Oh man, I sold toys to like helpless old ladies, and let me just tell you how diabolical we were. People, these old ladies, these chirp old ladies would call us up, and they'd be like, "I want a dollhouse for my granddaughter," and I'd be like, "Okay, it'll be $500 because you're shipping from Canada, and we charge like thousands of dollars from Canada for dollhouses." And we told them like, "Oh, we make them with real American cherry wood," and all we did was make them in fucking factories. But it's like, it was.
Were they real American cherry wood in factories though?
No, it was fake wood. But we told them like, yeah, we'll give you that. But basically, it's kind of like, you know, when you trust a toy, like a bookstore, like Scholastic sells books, and fucking old people know about books all the way back because Scholastic's been around forever.
Yeah.
They sell toys, and so since they already trust the bookstore, they don't feel like going to Toys R Us. So they call up Scholastic. It's like, hey, we need toys. So I would work on the phones for toys, and I did that, and the pay was shit. But it was like, working on the phones is horrible because I had this one bitch who would loom over my shoulder and fucking egg me for anything I do. So I'd talk to all these old people who have fucking hearing aids, so I have to be on the phone. I'm like, "Excuse me," and she's like, "I can't hear you, Sonny." I'm like, "Can you hear me?" And then the person would go over and she'd be like, "You're screaming, you're interrupting the whole entire place." If you didn't say please a certain amount of time, they would call you into the office and talk about how you should have said please and thank you like 60 more fucking times. And you would get graded, and if you got like a C, you wouldn't get like extra things. You're supposed to check your fucking thing for special deals, but regardless, I had a bunch of people who call in all the time, like crazy shit. I had this one woman call in, she was so fucking mad at me because we had like China imported shit, and she's like, "What are you, a communist? A communist corporation? You put fucking bombs in your toys?" Can we say that?
The bomb?
Yeah.
Just don't say, "I'm gonna kill Barack Obama, the president." Just don't say that, you'll be fine.
Okay, she's like, "Will you put that?"
I'm gonna kill with a rifle.
What are you bombing? What are you putting shit into the toys, bombs into the toys? I'm like, no, we're fucking. Is my story boring?
It's too long.
It's too long?
Yeah.
Well, okay, my shitty job is I worked on the phones and I talked to a bunch of old people that can't hear. Oh, your precious dollhouse, their fucking 8-year-old daughter who's gonna fucking break it down the flight of stairs.
Okay.
I like telling long stories.
So Corey works for a company where he sold Jackson dollhouses and shit to people over
Yeah,
the
a bunch
phone.
of like old people who fucking bought like baseball flags and stupid shit that nobody buys anymore.
Stamper, what was your shitty job?
I did telemarketing for a while. I sold timeshares.
Oh, God.
Really?
Breckenridge, Colorado.
Did you feel like a douchebag when you, like, just because it's
I
like...
did, because you'd have to call people up and you knew that you were just bothering them.
Yeah.
You'd catch people during dinner and they'd be totally pissed, and I could only sell to women.
Really? Did you like,
And then their boyfriends would pick up the phone and be like, "She's not interested," and hang up. I don't know. Not to sound sexist or anything, but maybe dudes are more just, they could pick up bullshit easier or whatever. Girls
What are the
see
ways in the
vacations
scale?
and happier times lying ahead.
Yeah.
90% of my sales were to women, and guys were just...
What did you say to convince them? What did you say to, like, wrap them
You
inside?
used to sell like vacuums and
baby.
shit.
Hey, slut, you want a timeshare?
You would sell like overpriced fluid vacuums that
Well,
cost like $300.
Me and Jeff both sold door to door, but
Really?
I didn't know. I have a story about that.
for the telemarketing
Almost,
thing,
I
it was
almost
just the
did.
timeshares, and
What
it was
is timeshare?
it's essentially a vacation house that you share with other people at different times of the year.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't sell many, and it was the first time that anyone's ever called me a scumbag in real life, and actually meant it. Because there's this guy, and I was like, hey, I'd like to say. He's like, is this a fucking telemarketer? And I was like, well, I'm a salesman trying to, and he's like, put your manager on the phone. I looked around because normally they monitor calls, and I looked around to see if he was like had his earpiece in and he was monitoring the calls, and I didn't see him anywhere. Yeah. And he was like, put your manager on the phone, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do that. And he was like, oh, you scumbag. And I was like, yep. And then I hung up the phone. And the whole thing started like so professionally. And then I just turned into a fucking kid at the end of it. Like, not only did I bother him during whatever the hell he was doing, but then I treated him like an asshole.
He turned it
and hung
around.
up.
It's it.
And that's, it's like no caller ID. He can't call back. He's probably still pissed off to this day. That
I worked at Arby's when I was like 17 or 18, and I went to clean out they'd say, hey, go do the toilets. And then I'd go right back and do the fries. So I'd walk back and fucking have my hands dripping with feces and fucking stuff and go handle the fries.
Really?
And then some guy ate your sandwiches like, oh, you fucking
He's
scumbag.
like, yeah, you fucking scumbag. This beef tastes like shit. I was like, well, surprise. Guess what? Guess what else I do? No, but it was always sad to me because I would see these big fat fucks bringing their little fat fuck kids. And I get really bummed out. It's really depressing to see that. Because the kids don't really know any better.
You know what's most depressing about that? Is that it was Arby's. Arby's is garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
Arby's sucks.
Exactly.
Like, everyone's like, oh, you work at McDonald's?
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's McDonald's.
really?
It's like,
I mean, at least it's good.
Yeah.
Like, you can't...
Wendy's or something. It's like, oh,
You go to
Wendy's?
McDonald's and you can get like fucking like 6 burgers for $6. You go to Arby's, you spend $7 for a shitty sandwich.
It always kind of blows my mind when people are like, oh, yeah, he works at McDonald's. They make fun of the occupation, but then they eat there at lunch.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't do that, man. If you're going to hate McDonald's, hate it all the way.
Don't ever go
Don't be
there.
selective about
Boycott it completely.
You know, my friend works at McDonald's. What a fucking loser. I'll have a number one, please. Give me a break, dude.
Jeff, did you have a story about door-to-door?
I'll tell you, when I was basically desperate for money after college because I was trying to be a freelance illustrator, and that's a little bit harder than you'd imagine. I saw this ad in the newspaper said it didn't tell you what it was. It said it was $12 an hour.
That's the same thing that happened to me too.
They trick you. This whole thing is such trickery going going on. And
Did you?
Yeah, go ahead.
It might tag on, but my friend said like he had if he sold like the shitty floor cleaner, he would get an extra like money boost on his fucking thing.
I think it did say something like that. It was like guaranteed $12.
But nobody wants to buy a $600 fucking floor cleaner.
So yeah, so like the people, if anybody listening, you probably heard of this company, but they're called Cutco, and they sell.
No, you should actually clarify that. Anybody listening needs to be very wary of ads for jobs.
Yeah.
My door-to-door shit said something like, hey, you want to be a rock star? You want to do this and this and this?
No,
I was like,
yeah,
that sounds great.
It was just this was the most bizarre job interview thing I've ever gone on in my life because it's a master class in brainwashing potential employees. Basically, Cutco is a company known for selling high-end knives. And the way they do this is it's like a little pyramid scheme. They basically hire people in college or students. They give them a set of knives. They go from door to door or go to friends' houses and pity, make the people feel sorry for you, and you sell them these knives which are go for $400 a set. You can buy an individual knife for $80 bucks.
Oh, well, 80 for one knife?
Oh, it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, because
they knives?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say they're quality knives, but the whole way they go about this, because the first thing you do is you go in, you're answering the ad with a bunch of people all at the same time. You go in a room, there's 40 of you. There's clearly
this is literally exactly what happened to me.
So it's like a room full of people, and there's a dude at the front giving you a presentation.
You go to a mysterious, unlabeled building.
Exactly.
You show up, you still don't know why you're there.
This is exactly how my friend fucking described it.
And you're sitting in there. I'm sitting in there with a shirt and tie. I'm all sad because I don't have any fucking money. I have antifreeze running out of the tailpipe of my car, and I don't even know fucking why. So I'm sitting there. I just need some money. I'm having panic attacks because I have no money. So you're sitting in a room with there's students. There's very shady people in there that look very more desperate than me. They look borderline homeless.
Yo.
And then a guy comes out and he says, "Yeah, welcome. This is Cutco. We sell knives and various other things, various other products. But for today's purposes, we're interested in hiring some of you to sell our knives." And then then this is where like the manipulation starts. He starts saying.
Wait, what kind of knives are they? Like the Swiss Army knives? Or like
no, they're like kitchen cutlery.
Kitchen knives. Cutlery. Is that the right word?
So
Cutlery?
he's like, listen, people. We're not gonna hire all you today. We're looking for some special people. And we're very specific because we're looking for the right person.
Only the best.
Only the best.
Only the best to sell knives. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh geez, well, I better smile. I better smile today, like every other day of my life. And so he starts calling us in one at a time into his office, and after answering some really bland questions, he's like, well, you know what, Jeff, I think you got it. I think you got the stuff to do this.
Yeah, that's, not to set you back, but that's exactly what happened with the telemarketing thing. He took me into a back room and he was like, read this paper. And then I was like, would you like to buy a timeshare in Breckenridge, Colorado? And he's like, you got the goods. And I was just like, what the hell are you talking about? It's probably the worst reading I've ever done in my entire life.
I guarantee they do that to fucking like everyone.
All these guys telling us this shit, they start out where we were. They know the whole scheme bottom up. So,
but like the people who are desperate for money, they're like, man, I'm gonna get $12 for selling some fucking cutlery knives.
And I guess they do turn some of the grodier people away, but all the naive idiots, like me who don't know what's going on. Yeah,
malformed ones.
Yeah, a little malformed. There were some
like clubbed feet get directed to a different door.
The fucking mutants who walk and squabble in there.
This is just a public call. You'll see everybody there.
The ones that
and the thing is,
the three-headed ones, get out of here.
On the first day, like 40 anonymous people show up to this room. And then the next time you go back, maybe only 8 of them stuck around.
I mean,
what happened to the mutants?
This happened like 15 years ago or something, but I still remember it clear as day. I was sitting in the lobby. I made friends with these 2 guys. One was like...
I have a question. Did a mutant ever get Employee of the Month?
Anyway, yeah, I made friends with these 2 other guys. One looked like he was in about 100 motorcycle accidents. He had scars like all over him, his face and shit. And this other was a black guy who was wearing a shirt. You ever wear a white shirt and tie, and you wear a colored T-shirt under it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so like you were like...
he was wearing a bright yellow T-shirt with like a logo on it under his shirt and tie. So talking to these guys... And we we graduated to the next phase of the. Tell me if this is getting boring. I don't know.
No, it's good. It's good.
We graduate to the next phase of the master plan to get us to sell the knives to housewives. Go in the next room, and we're introduced to a new guy who looks like he looks like a cross between Henry Rollins and the fucking Sandman from fucking Marvel Comics, where he's wearing like the striped sweater. But he looks like Henry Rollins. So he comes out. He's like, he's even a better salesman than the last guy. He's like, hey guys, you guys could have a real future here if you do a good job. And he takes us into his office, and his entire office wall is covered in knives and broadswords and bigger broadswords, and they're all etched with his name. And it's like employee of the month, like various months, employee of the year. He's using a fucking like medieval broadsword with like employee of the decade, his name on it. And we're like, oh shit, this guy is good stuff.
Employee of the decade.
This guy is selling Conan swords to somebody in the general vicinity that needs them.
So the day this wrapped up, and he said, "Go home, come back tomorrow. We're gonna start the real training tomorrow." So I come back the next day. My mom was already wary of this. She's like, yeah, this is. I don't think you.
Did you try to sell to your parents too?
No. This is the problem because
Did you try to sell them to your parents?
I grew up in the fucking country. Not to skip ahead, but yeah, they basically at some point in this whole scheme, they're asking you to write down like 50 names of people that you know that you can go try to sell the knife.
Yeah,
I know like 3.
Immediately wrote your family and friends down.
Dude.
So you start, and they start playing these fucking games with you. They're like, all right, we're gonna do some team building exercises. You know that shit where like you catch each other and. You have to like put your hands on everybody else's shoulders and like form a ring. And
oh God!
It's just weird games they're playing with you, and then it starts to get a little weirder. Now we're all sitting in a circle on wooden chairs, right? They're almost like intentionally uncomfortable wooden chairs.
So they downgraded you?
No, they didn't. No, this is where we started, and over in the corner there's some padded chairs, and he's like, "All right, people, I want you to make a list of." he wanted us to make a list of 50 people we could eventually contact to sell knives. But he said, listen, pick out like the top 5 people, and I want you to cold call them tonight. And if you whoever can manage to get the most appointments by tomorrow, because I want you to come back tomorrow and report back to me. Whoever gets the most appointments gets to sit in the padded chair. The 2 top people. Everybody else gets to sit in the wooden chairs.
Do you know what's funny about this like situation?
What's that?
This story. My friend told me the exact same thing. He told me like it was like a leveling system where you eventually get the cool room with all the drinks and stuff.
Oh, it keeps going.
But
it keeps going.
He said like, unfortunately, I was like, hey dude, how did you do? He's like, I didn't try. It was too hard.
I'll tell you the brilliance of the whole plan. But basically, it keeps going. So now he says, I didn't go back the next day. I'll just cut ahead for a moment. But back to day 2. He said, and now he's like, listen, guys, I don't want to get your hopes up and get you all excited, but I want to tell you some very exciting things about what happens if you do well here. And we're like, oh, well. He's like, now listen, he's like, the more knives you sell, and he's like, when you start out, you're going to get a low percentage of the profits. But the more knives you sell, the higher percentage you're going to get. He's like, if once you sell 50 sets, now you start rolling in the money, guys. Now you're into the good stuff. He's like, and you know what happens then? He's like, at the end of the year, whoever sells the most knives, you want to know what happens? He's like, we rent you a limo. You get to go out on the town with some cash on us.
Wow.
To go around town, eat, have fun. Everybody's thinking, oh, well, this sounds good. Right? He's like, yeah, and he's like, you get to take somebody. And we're like, a friend? He's like, no, you get to go with me. You and me together. On the town.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That's really nice of him.
Did he look cool?
What?
Was he cool looking?
He's an asshole. No.
Did he have a sweet like Hawaiian shirt?
He was the most...
Ace Ventura getup?
No, he looked like... This is the Henry Rollins. He looks like Henry Rollins, but a salesman. He's like... He's just such a salesman. He's such a soulless salesman. He's like, guys, you get to go out in the town with me in a limo all night.
Gee, I wonder why.
Don't you think that's great?
I mean, you're in a limo, so you're just thinking, oh, I'm in a limo.
Now, at this point, as some of you guys might have realized, even earlier in the podcast, when I'm not happy, I start making like faces, and I realize it. I'm like. I said frowning. I'm not very good at hiding. So he calls me into his office. He's like, hey, excuse me, just what's your name? Jeff? Can I talk to you in my office? I'm getting reprimanded and I don't even fucking work there. He calls me into his office with all the broadswords on the wall.
Did he kill you?
No, he's like, hey, listen.
Chris. He killed him.
Cut your head off with his sword.
He killed him,
astute
Chris.
commentary, Chris.
Sometimes I can see through Jeff. I was wondering.
Yeah, no. Well, I was nervous. I was nervous because I don't like being yelled at. But he's like, listen.
Did he see your piece?
I could swear that it seems like you don't want to be here.
Oh.
And I was so nervous because, like, A, I didn't like the confrontation at the time, and B, I needed the money. So I'm like, no, I want to be here. You totally misjudged me. So, because I don't know, because you look kind of unhappy out there.
Dude,
Jeff.
no, I want to party with you,
Yeah, it's like, no, man, listen, I can do this. And I said all this, and he's like, all right, well, my mistake. And we went back out there, and he went through his whole spiel about saying how they'd usually give the knife sets away to the new recruits as like a example set to show people. But he's like, well, enough people start just taking them and leaving, and they don't come back. So we're gonna have you buy the set.
Oh my!
For the discount, nice discount of $300.
Holy shit!
When they're normally like $450.
How many knives are in the set? It's like a chef knife.
Like a dozen.
It's like it's like a regular block of knives, like a
Do you have like
block.
those knives that like for like bread that you don't make anymore, and like stuff that you don't actually cut?
It's like a fucking.
Are you cutting like fucking lamb legs every night?
You have to level up in like a fucking video game. Even with the knives you sell, you can't even sell all their products at day one. You have to earn it. He's like, after you sell like 5 sets, then you're allowed to sell the pizza cutter.
Did you say it was 400?
Then after that, you can sell the wooden block to put your knives in, but you can't sell them right off the bat.
Did you say it was
Are you
450 for a
serious?
dozen knives?
You're gonna look like a fucking idiot
It
coming
was
up.
around that. Yeah, it was
You could
450.
buy ice
You're gonna
skates for
carry
that, like Tom Hanks.
They're supposedly high quality.
Cut open coconuts.
Well,
And-
you're gonna carry a dozen butter knives. Like, listen, I need to upgrade to a fucking pizza cutter. Can you please
I
buy
don't know.
my fucking butter knives?
I can't comment on the actual quality of the knives because they did this whole demonstration where the knives cut through thick leather hides,
Well, yeah, they're
cut through a
fucking
penny,
knives.
and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, when the fuck are you ever gonna need to cut through a penny? But the knives did it. They cut through the penny. They had like some carbon fiber handle
If you
thing.
want to cut through your wife's bones, then it'd be useful.
They had
Saw through them.
They had some
Your
pre-brainwashed
eyes.
girl come out. She was already pre-brainwashed and gave us the whole routine of like what you're supposed to do when you meet the housewives.
Yeah.
There's a whole script.
Yeah.
It's very important you stick to the script, they say.
Is this like?
I never
No
did.
improv. No going crazy with it.
What?
No improvising.
No, not really. It's like you can. He's like you can make it your own a little bit, but it's important you stick to the
But
script.
the one thing you learn is that housewives are the most bored, needing of human interaction people on the face of the planet. So
Yeah.
the script goes right out the window. You just start talking to them like normal people. They're just happy to see you
When
most
she
of the time.
read the script, was she kind of like, "Yes, I want your knives"? Was she like very enthusiastic? Did she almost feel like an actor? But at the time, you're just kind of like.
She was okay. I think that's why they brought her in because she was one of their.
She didn't feel like a
better,
stage performer?
She was doing well at the time. She was in college. So she was there to convince us how to do this to the bored housewives.
Jeff, could you do it on me right now if I'm the housewife? Could you still know what it is?
Zach is a housewife.
We're all the housewives.
Zach is a housewife.
All right, okay. Ding dong.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello?
I'm Amanda from
hus-
Cutco.
Get away from me! Brave! Brave! He's got knives! Steve, get the shotgun!
Here, let's do a different one. Okay, let's do it for real.
what's going on
Ding
here?
dong. Oh, my husband left. To the army.
Well, I'm a girl,
oh,
so
my breasts are so
lesbian.
don't you want to
Suck
see our
my
knives
dick.
cut through
I'm gonna
pennies?
see your penis
quarters?
cut through my...
Well, I like cooking. I like
You?
cooking.
How many
You're in
women
luck.
live in this house?
Stop, you
I have.
slut.
I've just earned the right to
I'm
sell
the
you a
hottest.
spatula.
Yeah, there's like 4 women in this house. You
My
just, you
breasts
just
are the
pull your
biggest.
wiener out and fuck
It's like
off
a Mormon
right
family,
Yeah.
5 wives.
I'm
This
the
sounds
husband. I fuck
so wait,
husband.
I could
What's
sell
up?
like $2
All right,
grand worth of knives in this
So
house if I do well.
I am an exotic woman. Okay, you can hear it in my voice. I am looking for all sorts of knives.
Yeah.
Pizza knives, bread
Well,
knives.
you're in luck.
Fucking noodle knives.
You
What
are
the hell
in
is
luck.
a noodle knife?
Like action knives.
Noodle knives.
What do you got?
Action knives.
You have a tiny little knife for cutting a noodle.
Just a noodle.
Yeah, one noodle.
What kind of knives you got?
Oh, we got the.
No, is
What kind of knives do you got? What kind of knives you got?
Buffalo too.
steak knives.
Steak! I don't eat steak! My teeth will fall out!
My husband makes steak.
Well, good thing because they can cut your steak into tiny little pieces.
Oh.
And if you don't like your husband, you can
that's
kill
actually a
him
pretty
with
damn
him.
good like sale pitch. Like if somebody if someone's like I can't eat it, it's like well you cut it into
Yeah,
microscopic
tinier
pieces, just
yeah.
slide down your throat like noodles. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
there you go. See, maybe
like
maybe I was in
applesauce.
that. Maybe I shouldn't have gone into
That's not a good
animation
sales
and did
pitch
this.
at all. That's a very bad one.
Corey.
That's bad.
Listen,
not
Jeff.
good.
This isn't role play hour. This is Jeff's
it's
story
fine.
about fucking getting fucked.
I was terrified. Yeah, so basically, when he pulled out the knives and he's like waiting for us to hand over our check of $300, I ran out of the building. I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm just
you
gonna
run
get
like
the
me?
money from my mom.
How
I
fast
never
did
came
you
back.
run?
Did you run away like Hal from Malcolm in the Middle?
I didn't run. I walked.
Did you like something?
Did you walk proudly?
No.
Did you not give
I
a fuck?
cowered. I ran like Gollum out of the building. I'm like,
Did you tuck your dick between your legs and walk
yes,
away?
yes.
Okay.
I did the same thing.
I was ashamed. I was ashamed.
Tuck your dick
I
between your
even.
I can't believe you stood
I felt
there.
tricked because I sat through like a day and a half of this shit.
No, because I did the same exact thing. Like I walked in there with the same thing, and I walked into the same room with the same 40 people.
Yeah.
And I went in there with my friend Bob at the time, and he was my best friend at the time. We used to fucking do everything together. We used to blow each other, fuck each other. I beat you guys to it, so whatever.
I
You were gonna say that, you
I wasn't
disgusting
even thinking
perverts.
that. I was
What's wrong
thinking.
with-
I was thinking you guys had fun
thinking, whoa, you had
outside,
another friend. That's
playing
really
pretend,
nice.
superhero adventures.
You ruined it.
Last
you
thing I
derailed
thought
it,
was you were
sexual
fucking him against the tree
fantasy.
and
You always
sucking
have
him
to
off.
rub everything in the smut.
We're
That's
not
the
your
first thing you thought
therapist
of it
here.
had a tree involved.
Listen,
I walked in there with
fuck
Bob. We sat down.
Fuck him up his ass.
we blow him and fuck him.
We fucked him after. We fucked after the
Fuck his
fact.
cock.
But no, so we sat in the big crowd of 40
fucked.
weird people and dudes with bullet wounds and shit like that.
Wait, there's fucking veterans in there with no
Fuck
legs
all
looking to
those?
sell knives.
Did you not hear what Jeff said earlier? This fucking weird
You
mutants.
scored. You said there were mutants everywhere.
Yeah, but I was thinking. I didn't think there was crocodile people.
Club
I thought there's a form of.
When you put an ad in the paper, what do you expect to turn up? It's well-adjusted human beings.
Bill Gates.
It's people that need jobs. Anyways, Corey.
Listen,
I showed up with my
Crocodile Man could sell a fucking knife.
Crocodile man. What the fuck?
I showed up with my friend Bob. We sat in a room with 40 fucking weird, broken people. And he's only critical to the story because when we first went in there, there's a guy, and he was the main guy that came up to the front to do the whole speech. His name was Skip, and I only remember that
Skip,
because he
right.
was like 950 pounds. Me and Bob called him Skip Giblet because we couldn't remember his last name. It was like Makazumwanika Witch Wish.
Right.
Skip was his
So we
last
just
name.
called him Giblet.
His first name was my dog.
What?
My dog Skip.
Chris, go over there and be quiet.
Skip giblets? Did he skip dog food hour?
No, he was just fat, and his name was Skip.
So the irony was Skip could never skip because he was.
The irony was, let me finish the fucking story.
Okay.
Anyways,
You fuck Skip.
he
Sorry, go on.
he did the brain games on me and Bob early because when I walked in there with Bob, I knew that something was off, and Bob kind of did too. So he fell asleep in his chair. And meanwhile, Skip was at the front of the room and he was like, look at what I have. I have this fucking empire. We sold vacuum cleaners. It's exactly like Jeff's story, but with vacuum cleaners instead of knives. And then he went up there and told us this fucking story when he came home when he was a kid. He saw his mom in her bed killing herself, and he was like, and now look at me now. And I watched my mom die. And then I had to raise my 6 or 7 brothers and sisters by myself. And Bob fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then he pointed at Bob at one point, and he was like, get the fuck out of here. You don't belong in here. Get out. And then Bob was like, what? What? Wait, what? And I was like, dude, you need to get out of here. He's like really mad at you right now. So he made an example of Bob and then made everybody else in the room feel like they were privileged to be in there. And then he kept going with his fucking bullshit story about like how you're destined for fame and fortune.
I got
with
the look at
vacuum.
me
When
now.
you were
I got the
telling-
look at me now thing too. And like I was down on my luck and working at McDonald's, but look at me now.
When you were telling
Everybody in
that
this
story,
room was down on their luck, and
Yeah.
look at us now, and we're still in bad shape.
Yeah.
when you were telling that story, I zoned out, and it went from really lighthearted to really dark. And when I zoned back in, and you were talking about dead people.
Yeah, because you're falling asleep
His
on
mom
the
was.
couch.
Yeah,
You know, people actually want you to contribute to the podcast, Chris.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Are we gonna get up full
But you're not
all these
trying,
comments
though. That's
like
the
I am trying. I was waiting to tell my story about GameStop, but
Jeff,
you all trailed off.
Chris, what are 3 of your favorite foods?
Go, hurry.
Brunch.
The Bob's gonna go off.
Brunch ice cream,
Ice cream.
jalapeno
Dying.
pizza,
Chewits.
Thai green curry,
You like Chewits?
blueberries, Chewits. I haven't eaten a Chewits in a while.
What the fuck is brunch ice cream?
It's yummy. It's pink and it's covered in flakes.
Poop.
Poop
What?
doo-doo.
I don't eat poop.
You eat doo-doo flakes, little fag.
Brunch isn't a food, it's a
What-
mealtime.
what-
Brunch is an ice cream.
What kind of farce do you
What's your
suck
favorite
out of
dinner?
butts?
It's a pink
dinner.
ice cream. It's really delicious.
What's your favorite food? Breakfast. Okay, makes a lot of sense.
Cheerios is good. Cocoa Pops is good.
What's your favorite food?
Cocoa Pops.
What the hell are Cocoa
Pow!
Pops?
Gotta have my
They're like
pops.
they're Cocoa Pops. What,
All right.
What the fuck do you mean? What are Cocoa Pops?
Chris?
Do you know
Hey,
what-
Americans, what are Cocoa Pops?
Are you serious? We don't have Lucky Charms. We don't have Lucky Charms.
I didn't ask
You
that.
do
I
now.
asked
What
what
the
the
hell
fuck
you talking
Are they just
about?
called
were.
You do
charms,
now.
or are they
We don't
called
have
regular
those.
Are
charms?
Cocoa
Period.
Pops little black chocolate balls like this?
No, they're little Cocoa
Are they
Puffs.
called like American charms?
Pups?
Puffs.
You
Pops.
said.
They're called Cocoa Pops, and they have the little monkey on the front.
Oh yeah, of course, the little monkey. Yeah, of
His
course.
name's Coco.
We have Cocoa.
Oh, you mean Cocoa Krispies?
You guys,
What the?
I have a question.
Are they teeny tiny?
I have a question.
Okay, then they're
Like
Cocoa
Rice Krispie chocolate.
I have a,
Okay, so
I have a question.
They're called Cocoa Pops.
No, they're not. They're called Cocoa Krispies. They were invented in America.
I have a question.
Kellogg's American, yes or no?
I have an important question that
No.
will deliver.
Then fuck you!
I have an important
Is it
question
really not
that is
American?
important
I don't think so.
to the podcast.
Well,
as-
Kellogg's is
No
American.
goblins.
Fuck
Do
you.
not eat cereal.
Listen,
What?
it's not about goblins and what sort of fucking.
Regale us, Corey.
This is an important
Everyone's
story.
going to be really
Here we
quiet
go.
to listen to your important
Everybody, here it
story.
comes.
Who wants to hear the story about the little 8-year-old kid who showed me his penis as a Power Ranger?
I want to hear that after my game.
How did you go from cereal to that,
Another
Corey?
fucking intersection car crash by Corey. The story is like going 90 miles an hour down the road.
Thank you, Zach. I was
Corey.
Hold on.
saying we should start calling Corey
This is bullshit.
T-Bone.
This is
because
bullshit.
everything he does is
T-Bone sounds like
him
a husky
finish.
black guy. That isn't even close to my fucking
Whoa,
like.
can I tell
First of all, my story is
No,
when I was
no,
young.
Stamper's not
Stop.
done. Stamper's
he's
not
still
done.
going.
yogurt, wolves, cake.
I wanted to tell
Bananas,
you. I want to tell you a story about
skeletons.
GameStop.
Okay.
Corey,
Stamper's not done yet, is it?
what was his story?
Well, tell me
Let him
what.
finish.
You asked me what brunch was.
Corey.
That's all I
Bag
remember.
sandwich.
I feel like I was done.
Oh, just do a quick
This was-
ender.
What happens
This
when
was
you're
actually
like, you're like,
important.
wait, I have to stop this right now to talk about.
This was actually brought up by a fellow.
Yeah, what goes on in your
This
mind?
was a Sleepy-Cabin fan. He asked,
But
"Tell me the story
what-
about the
what-
Power Ranger dude who showed
Corey,
you your penis." This
You
is.
gotta wait your
Why do
turn.
you have to? What?
What the fuck?
That's my topic interruption.
Well, do you think he can finish? Because there's no way we can go back to it.
Look, just try to do
Wait.
it. Just try to do a little.
You already
just a little
said.
cap.
You
Just a
already
little
said.
cap.
You already
Say-
said he walked out while Mr. fucking Brown was talking about his knife collection.
Not
You already
him,
said he
Stamper,
left.
Stamper.
Stamper was talking about
Cocoa Krispies.
Cocoa
Chris
Krispies.
interrupted him.
a fucking yellow. Who
but
gives a shit?
No, but when you're like, no, listen, guys, I have to stop this now to talk about
Power
this
Rangers.
totally other
Power
thing.
And I wanted to tell him a GameStop story.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no. See, when you do that, it's like people talking about like computers and you're like, no, I have to interject right now, and then you start talking
And 6
about.
hours later, it's
I-
gone.
Like blueberry pies.
I have 45 liters of beer inside me. I need to tell
Stop
the story
drinking.
before I
Stop
can't
drinking
speak
it.
anymore.
Stop drinking it.
45 ounces of beer in you.
Same thing.
Corey.
Holy shit.
Stamper, you want to do a little bumper? Be like, anyways, that's when I looked at the place.
Did it?
Because he interrupted you with breakfast.
I don't even know what's going on anymore,
I interrupted him with breakfast?
You
What?
interrupted him with something. and
You were
he got
talking
mad at
about
you and said,
Cocoa
"What are you
Puffs
doing
and,
to the
like,
food?"
He asked me what my favorite food was for some
I don't
reason.
even know how we
Because you
segued
interrupted
into
him.
cereal.
Neither do I, and I did not interrupt shit.
You interrupted him. He said, Chris, what's your favorite food?
That's because you're about to segue, and I didn't tell my story because you all ignored me.
Hey Chris, didn't you work at GameStop?
Wow.
You're like
It was
you're like
cool.
the black tractor trailer in Terminator 2. Like you just smash through the bridge and land in the and you just keep going.
Listen,
What?
when you put alcohol into my gullet, there's no
we know.
telling what's
We
coming
know.
out of it. Go ahead, tell you.
I have fresh H2O that Gosh Bub gave me. Makes me pee out my holy water. Chris,
GameStop.
you know what? Anyways, hey, today I was at GameStop and I saw a retarded person dying in the streets. Chris, didn't you work at GameStop?
Yes.
That's the worst segue I've ever
Why-
heard.
why
I'm
don't
gonna
you do
ruin
it?
it
Okay,
again.
okay.
Why'd you talk to your right shoulder?
Stamper, you do a segue to GameStop.
Okay, fine. All right, so I sold. Wait, yeah.
What the fuck? Damn Paladin's screaming in my ear.
Paladins, this is
Tell. Ow! Jesus.
Yeah, why don't you take the thingy off?
my name is Mandy.
Okay,
and
so
with my
they-
monster can and I will blow
shut up.
you up.
All right, so long story short, I sold vacuum cleaners. I actually have a lot to say about that fucking job.
Well, let's say more.
Yeah, you went
Say
to
the word.
like a poor place and you were trying to sell like $80 vacuum cleaners where
Oh yeah,
clearly
you
people
said
couldn't even
you
afford.
said you stopped your story when the dude was like, "Bob, get out of here."
But then eventually Bob came back to work. I guess it was just scare tactics. Anyways, the same exact story that Jeff had, verbatim, just with vacuum cleaners. And then I went door to door selling vacuum cleaners, but the problem with the vacuum cleaners were they were $3,000 vacuum cleaners.
Damn, did they shoot
And
liquid and shit?
and to ease the blow, you could give them the carpet shampoo as well,
Yeah,
which
that-
was another
that's what I'm talking about. Carpet
$1,500.
I was. Oh yeah, okay.
Did they?
And they sent me to the ghetto to sell.
sell
vacuum cleaners to
$3,000
people that
vacuum
could barely
cleaners.
afford their fucking rent.
They're starving by McDonald's.
I didn't sell anything.
Yeah.
I
Sell me a
Tell me
vacuum
the
cleaner.
story. Tell me a story where you walked up and like
Stamper.
this person with like 6 kids.
There was one story that the one that I remember the most was I went to this old woman's house. And I was like, hey, I'm basically selling vacuum cleaners. I was pretty much done. And she was like, are they good? Because the whole thing is like, I had to bring out my vacuum cleaner and tell them to bring out their vacuum cleaner.
And do a side by side.
And then do a comparison.
Yeah.
And in some cases, go in and sprinkle dirt into their carpet and be like, use your piece of shit vacuum cleaner to pull the dirt out of that carpet, and then I'll show you what mine can do. Like that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to bring out their fucking vacuum cleaner and do chores because some asshole came to their door.
Or sprinkle
And just
dead
surprise
earthworms
them.
on the ground so you can.
We had an old man on our street did this every year to my family. He'd come in with his vacuum and his ball bearings, and he'd vacuum up the ball bearings and be like, check it out.
Who cares? It's ball bearings.
Like how strong it is anyway.
What time are you ever gonna vacuum up fucking like small metal balls?
But no, there's...
I think you're just supposed to show the strength of the vacuum anyway.
Shattering the eardrums of the old man.
This old woman, though, she was more concerned with getting the cat piss out of her rug. She had like 9 cats, and the cats just pissed on her rug. And even when I was younger, I was just like, maybe you should get a cat box, something like that. Anyways, she had this big yellow spot of cat piss, and because Skip Giblet was like, this is the best carpet shampoo ever, it could pick up everything, he totally got me, like it totally could pick up everything. I ran over this cat piss spot on her carpet at least 3 different times. And then at one point she was like, I have to go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. And when she went to the bathroom, I took this big potted plant that she had in her living room and I slid it over the cat piss. And then I left and I never came back.
You think she went down the diagonal
like
of a fucking house?
like I was covering something.
She
I
forgets.
was hiding the cat piss.
Sam, did you ever consider,
forgets the layout of her own
Stamp
house.
that was her piss?
Yeah.
And
Oh, that
cat-
she was like,
Yeah,
maybe
she
he
was
was a
pissing
fool.
everywhere.
like
Maybe
I
maybe
came
she
into
knew
her,
about-
to her world and she was like, oh, this guy can
the
clean
cats
up her
peeing
piss.
everywhere. I can't help
Maybe
it.
she knew about Skip Giblets and she set up that piss urine thing, moved the potted plant just in case you saw the
This isn't Inception, Corey.
realistically
I'm saying some
though,
old
I'm
bitch
saying
pissing on the floor because
Listen.
her husband's been dead.
Anyways, that job was over. The end.
bitch fall around.
I kept his vacuum cleaners and he got pissed off and I had to return them.
Stamper.
And then I worked at Walmart, TJ Maxx, Pizza Hut, then the telemarketer.
You said Pizza Hut was pretty good.
Stamper, would you?
Oh, Pizza Hut's a great company.
Yeah, because you get
This
tips.
podcast brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Pizza's
Get
pretty
your
good.
dirty pepperonis right now for
Pizza
free.
Hut, to this day, is the best company I have ever worked for in my life.
I've had friends
Really?
who worked for like
Including Newgrounds and SleepyCabin. The best company I've ever worked for.
I worked in my dad's office over summers in college, Verizon. You ever see, Office Space?
Verizon?
That shit is 100% accurate.
I've never had a legitimate office
Space
type
is
job.
fucking
No,
accurate.
I have in Florida. I did have a weird fucking office job down
Yeah.
there. That you know, that's all excluding. Oh, and I also worked at Kmart. I don't know if I said that.
Yes.
My office job in Florida is when I started getting into professional design and stuff like that. I exclude those as jobs. That's just this.
Hobby building.
This like a clay ball of shit, just
Yeah.
like mashed together. I don't even count them anymore.
I feel
but-
bad. The only job I've ever had is working on the phones of Scholastics. And you know what's funny? That place actually got shut down from fucking up an order for thousands of dollars because they just sort of ignored the phone calls. And then they got sued.
Chris,
That's what happens.
Oh?
you GameStop.
Well, I went to GameStop and I was like, hey, how much am I gonna get for this? $30? Wow, I was like fucking 6-year-old game. Are you kidding me?
We're like $5.
You guys are gonna be pissed, right? Because
Yeah.
in GameStop, nothing very interesting happened, right? Except I was told a story by one of my superiors that was really cool.
What was the story told by?
Did he
one of
piss
your
his pants
superiors?
and everyone fucking clapped him?
No, but P was involved, right? So he told me.
Dude, I got
He tells me when he was younger, he was bullied. He was picked on. He lived in Dublin, right, in a real shitty part of Dublin, which is like, okay, I'm just gonna say it. I don't like Dublin. I hate it. Okay, it's a boring, horrible place. Anyways,
Is it because you want punched in the
You
face?
want-
yeah, it's because I was walking down the street and a
Have
guy
you-
clocked me in the jaw and split my lip open for no
Realistic
reason.
question.
What?
Have you ever pissed in your hand and hit someone in the face with it?
Corey, you are sick.
Have you? It's hard. It hurts.
I do that daily, dude.
The piss makes it hurt.
You smack him.
It's like getting slapped by a wet fish. But anyways, Corey. Anyways, okay, so the guy lives in Dublin in a shitty.
This is important.
He lives in a great shitty life. Okay, his life is shitty, and he's a little kid, right? And this kid called Bobby.
Potatoes.
This kid called Bobby picks on him every day, right?
Yeah,
And he gets his friends to hold him down, and they all pee on him, right? He's like, right? And then so they used to walk down to get to town. They take a shortcut.
Hold on.
Shut up, Corey.
Hold on.
To get to town, they go through a shortcut over a field and then over a.
Corey, shut up!
It's important.
Shut up! No, it's not. It's never important.
Were you stalking the Call of Duty case? He's like, listen.
What are you talking
I
about?
pissed in this Bobby guy's mouth.
No! You've misinterpreted everything.
Corey, shut up!
This is it.
Shut up and stop talking forever, Corey.
This is real, folks. This is real.
Okay, let's.
Not a joke.
Okay, so Corey, I'm gonna give you a basic breakdown of what we have so far. Okay, a kid gets bullied, gets pissed on. His name's say his name is
Billy.
Samus.
Samus. It's not a bounty hunter.
Samus.
No, his name is Brian. Okay,
Brian
gets held
I don't
down
like
by
Brian.
Brian gets held down
Change
by
it.
Bobby. Gets peed on by him and all his friends. Right, so he's like.
Brian is a tougher name than Bobby.
He holds resentment to
I
this
agree.
Bobby fellow. They used to.
Brian
They used to
kicked Bobby's
listen. He goes to town every day, right? He walks through a field, and he lives in the
Jeff, shut up!
He lives in the same.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Lives in the same neighborhood as Bobby, right? So he has
this
to be
gonna
careful.
become-
Corey, shut up!
What is this, smear?
Corey, I swear to God, shut the fuck up. Corey, shut up.
You listen to me.
Shut up.
Last time we did a shit debate, you were telling me shut up, and I couldn't explain my points because you were like, shut up!
Whose story is it?
What color was the pee?
It was orange. Anyways, they used to have to go to town, or they would wanted to go to town at the weekends, right? So they walk over a field. At the end of this field was a big old fence, right? So they have to climb over the fence, right? And one day, Brian and Bobby are walking through the field, and they're like, we'll just let each other walk this one time. So they're both climbing over the fence, right? Brian gets over it, no problem. Bobby fucking falls over it, and he's hanging by his fingers through the fence, right? His fingers got caught, and he's like, Brian, help me! I'm being caught by my fingers, get help! And Brian's like, no! And he runs away. And then he comes back later, and the kid fell off the fence, and both of his fingers are still on the fence. So he got yanked off by his fingers, and he had to go to town to get help, and he couldn't reattach him because it was too late.
I forget, what does it have to do with GameStop?
He was the guy, he was my superior at GameStop.
Oh, your superior has no
fucking-
fingers.
He left.
No, my superior, he's the one who got peed on by the guy with
He
no
was
fingers.
Brian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
dude.
your guy at GameStop, a
He
guy,
got peed on, and he got his.
he
got
allowed
his,
some kid to get his fingers ripped off and fucking deformed for life.
yeah, he peed on him.
How do you lead to that?
What would you say to him?
So like the worst thing that happened at GameStop
Chris,
was
shut up!
I would have
sold
done
like
the right thing.
Superman 64. That was like the worst thing that happened.
I would have
at
done the
GameStop.
right thing. And I would have.
All I had to do was sit around and take games out of their cases and put them in little
Listen.
plastic sleeves. That was the worst of my
Chris,
life.
if I was Brian, I would have pissed directly into his mouth. I'd be like, "Hey, how's it taste?"
I think getting your
horrible?
fingers ripped off is just as good as a dessert.
You
okay?
pissed on him?
He got his middle and index finger ripped
Yeah,
off.
because he,
yeah. Yeah,
Damn,
so
how did
he could never finger a girl.
he can, but it would just will not be as good.
he can do his pinky.
Yeah.
Yeah, his pinky and his ring
He can
finger.
still do one in the pink and one in the stink.
Gross.
Unless he puts two in the stink and a thumb in the pink.
He could just fist her with his gross stub hand.
Or he could just like lick her out.
He would have to hold his hand like a autistic retard.
Or he could use the other hand. Problem solved.
You're right.
He could have a huge hook on his hand and hook her pussy.
problem solved.
Stamper, if you were at a store,
I like how that was Chris's job story. It
I
had
told
nothing
you.
to do with the job.
Look, the only two jobs I've ever had were walking up and downstairs with boxes to put into the back of my dad's van, and then he'd buy me a Game Boy game or something.
Welcome to the world of jobs.
Yes,
Those
it's boring.
are jobs.
And GameStop was just sitting in the back room in the cold, and people are, and then you have to just you have to use this little thing and put in a 15-digit number, and then print it onto the back of the sleeve, and then you put it in the drawer. The
Every
end.
job that
so sorry,
everybody
Chris.
has is a conveyor belt. Do
I know.
this, do this.
I know.
go
I'm not
home.
complaining. I'm saying that's what my job was.
Stamper.
Yeah.
A homeless man.
Shut up, Corey.
Stamper, I have a real thing to ask you.
No, is this?
Okay, Corey.
Fucking kidding me? You can't keep telling me shut up. I'm not a jewelry box.
They keep,
What?
What the?
they keep talking.
Okay, a homeless man gives you a box. He's like, I need you to keep this forever.
What's in it?
This is my home.
Can
I want you to hold on to this for life.
I just interject for 1
He's
second?
pissed in it, he's
Corey,
shitting it,
Corey,
and he gives
Corey,
it to you.
Corey.
What do
You
you
mean a
do?
cardboard box? Or like
Yeah.
Corey!
It's like a TV
Corey!
box. A CTR TV
Corey,
box.
wait. Do you like
have to say-
granola cereal?
You have to say Corey.
I like granola cereal.
Yeah.
Me too.
Do you like with bananas?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Dude,
If you dipped a banana into a granola, would it cling?
Almond granola cereal.
Okay.
Jeff, if you were at a store with a big staircase, a big concrete staircase,
You ruined my story.
and you smacked
Wow. What am I getting heckled on stage? Come on, what is this?
Yeah.
What audience you down?
Jeff, what if you were at a store and you see an old lady and you push her over and she breaks her neck? Would you feel bad?
Give me a second. This is an important story. So a homeless man gives you
What do you think of
shitty.
Vladimir Putin's invasion?
Boo!
A homeless man gives you a shitty pissy box. He's like, here, I need you to hold on to this. What do you do with it?
What?
He gives.
You farted it.
He gives you a farty, poopy, pissy box. He's like, I need you to keep on this. This is my
I would
home.
not touch it.
I'm upgrading to my fridge box. I need you to hold on to my CRTV box.
This is my old house.
If it's a box
Why
you
is
can live
so
in, it's
specific?
like a refrigerator.
No, it's a box.
No,
It's
it's a
a
box.
box.
He lived in
The
This
box
sounds
to
like this
refrigerator.
happened.
He lived in a CRTV giant box. He gives it to you. He's like, I need you to hold on to this box.
A what TV?
I need you to shut up, Corey.
No, it's a scenario. What do you do with the box?
I don't understand the logic.
He gives you.
He gives you a smelly
He's
box.
giving you his home.
Stamper.
What do you do with
Stamper,
it?
Bill Gates walks up to you and says, "I'm gonna die of cancer, and one day here, have this. You might."
He gives you his pissy, shitty, farty box.
No, not a pissy farty box. It's a small jewelry box with a little lipstick kiss on it. And he says, "Stamper, here you go." And he runs away. And then like 10 years go by, and because he says, "Don't open this ever." And then 10 years go by, and you're like, "What's in this?" And you open it. His tooth is inside there.
A little toot.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You were gonna open the CRTV, and
I
his
beat you
dog
to it.
was gonna.
What
fart.
is a Sierra TV?
CRT TV?
What the fuck does that mean, Corey?
Cathode ray tube, actually.
What is?
Wow, Jeff.
You don't know what a CRT TV is?
Oh, a
God
CR
damn it!
No, a CRT. I get what. I thought he was saying Sierra TV.
Oh no.
Oh,
CRT TV.
CRTV.
Zach,
Do you know letters,
Do you
Corey?
remember?
CRT.
Do you remember long
Homeless
ago
man
when
gives you a
TVs
CRT
were
TV.
4, 3
Damn it.
dimensions?
No, I
Damn it.
I also thought he was saying CRT.
Oh
come
yeah,
back.
yeah, I heard
I
him.
mean, the round,
I thought it was a brand like Sierra
round tube,
TVs,
yeah.
like
Yeah, I had that.
Vizio.
Analog.
Those were pretty. Yeah, those
I
were
was just
pretty
trying
Back
to
in the
create a
day,
humble
yeah.
scenario where you don't give the homeless man back his home, and he comes back later because his fucking fridge
I
got
would've
caved
been
in
like-
from the rain.
Can I interest you in some real estate? And then gave him the box.
You guys you wanted me to talk about the dude who showed me his fucking penis.
Yeah.
Like people wanted to know about that.
Yeah.
Because I went to that and I'm like, whoa.
You gotta make it a quick
You have
story, though.
3 minutes.
All right, you quick story. Okay, it was a hot summer day.
Hot summer.
It was fucking shitty out. I didn't enjoy being outside. I went outside this guy's house.
Okay, you went to your friend's house.
It was my friend's house, yeah. And this
Okay.
kid next door, he's like, hey, come over to my house. And I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. So we went over to his house. Because we were
You
fucking...
didn't feel like it, but you went over anyway. Okay.
He had stuff, and he was wearing like an outfit.
Okay. What kind of an outfit?
Like he was like, I want to show you what I learned on Power
encourage him.
Rangers.
What?
He was wearing like some fucking
Oh, I
baby
guess it
outfit.
is.
I don't know. He was like a little kid. He was a
Okay.
weird kid.
How old were you and how old was he?
I was like, I think like 13, maybe 14.
Okay.
And we went over to his house. I was like, show us. What the fuck are you doing? He's like, it's a Power Ranger move. And he pulled his shirt up like one of those kids who's about to pee into a toilet like a big boy for once. And then he fucking showed me his little Jimmy. And he was like wiggling it around and like singing the Power Ranger song.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's gay. You're gay. And then we went back. We ran home. And my mom, she had all these fucking popsicles frozen from the start. And I had a strawberry popsicle, and my friend had a grape popsicle. It's fucking bullshit because I wanted the fucking strawberry popsicle. He was fucking hogging the grape one.
Okay.
Wait, you wanted the strawberry? Here's how.
I wanted to like mix them together in a bowl.
Long story short.
Jeff looks so fucking.
I cut it
puzzled
up.
right now.
I cut it up. I put it into the bowl, and I made a grape strawberry popsicle, and I ate it with a spoon.
Cool, dude.
How does this? Where did this? This is the story you've been teasing for like 4 hours.
Well, I gotta pee.
You're like, I want to tell the Power Ranger story, and it ends with you eating a popsicle. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Jeff.
I was looking forward to that story. I was like, this is gonna be good.
That was by the Morphin Shitty Jobs. Join us next time on SleepyCast. I'm gonna go jack off to photos of my anus that I took when I was a little boy. Goodbye.